G'day, it's Mark, and welcome back to the channel. And in this episode, something very different and unusual for the channel and for me as well. My first English car, I think, pretty sure it is. It's a Bentley T1 car that I never thought I would buy. Somebody put me onto it through the car club I'm in, and I got it for a decent price, but it needed work on the brakes and the suspension, which, if you know anything about these cars, is the Achilles heel and a major expense. But with regular use, and once you've done that job, then generally it's pretty good after that.
Surely you can't be serious.
So anyway, let's check out the episode and get stuck into it. I never thought I would have bought a car like this, I'd see these old blokes driving around and I think, oh, geez, you've either got a lot of money or no sense. I might be in the second category, but as I said, I was able to buy the car through a car club member, and then originally was going to help me fix the brakes, and he sort of priced up some of the parts. And I thought, well, that actually sounds like a pretty reasonable sort of a deal. But as it transpired, apparently it needed more than what he thought. And so I had to take it into a specialist, and that means specialists see dollar signs. So yeah, spent a lot of money on the brakes, getting the brakes and the suspension, all new components fitted to the car. It was very expensive, but the way I look at it is, once I've done it now, I probably won't have to do it ever again, I hope. Certainly hope. And the key is with these, the suspension and brakes is under license with Andre Citroën. The key with these is to use the car and not let the car sit. I think that's what had happened, is the car had sat for a long time and doesn't do any car any favours, but particularly these. So anyway, look, it's done now, and still a few little things there's a slight weep in the fuel pump I need to sort out. And the power steering, I think, also needs a little bit of work. It makes a bit of a noise, but it runs fine. It operates fine. No problem at all. And yeah, so check this out now. We're my first drive of the car. Hadn't driven one of these before, and yeah, it's pretty cool. First drive in the Bentley. It's a new experience. It's got the 4-speed turbo hydromatic GM gearbox. So yeah, have to get used to it, but actually drives along very nicely. I'm going to put some fuel in it. So driving the Bentley, never thought I'd have one of these. This is a T1. They made just over 1,600 of these. I think they made about 15,000 or so of the equivalent Rolls Royce. And I think the car came out in around 1965, 66. I'm sure there'll be some Bentley aficionados that know more about them than I do. And I think they made it up until about 1979, 80, something like that. I think there was a T2 version. There was an updated version of this car later on. I've just had, I bought the car through a car club member. He was going to help me with the brakes, because that's like an Achilles heel of these cars. But as it turned out, he wasn't able to, so I had to take it to a specialist. So yes, ownership of a Bentley or Rolls Royce is expensive, but this uses like a Citroën system for suspension and brakes. It also has a level ride system as well with air or bellows, not air bellows, but oil. And the car drives really nicely. It's turbo hydromatic, I think a 4-speed General Motors gearbox. It's got a big factory air conditioner in the back, which is quite rare. And as I said, they only made a small number of these cars, about 1,600. I'll get Brian to do a little bit of work on the bodywork just to tidy it up. It's generally pretty good. The engine's very good. The interior's very nice. Needs some hide food. My friend Greg can probably give me a hand with that. He's got the Jaguar 420G, which is a beautiful car. Check out that episode if you haven't watched that, about Greg's Jaguar. But yeah, it's my first time driving the car, and as I said, the brakes and the suspension was very expensive to fix. But now that it's done, what they say is you just got to drive the cars and not let them sit. This car had been sitting for a long time, so yeah, that was the issue. So the brake system, and the suspension is under license from Andre Citroën, so it's a Citroën system. I've got a few Citroëns, little GSs, which I love. Pretty quirky cars, but beautiful cars to drive. World Car of the Year, or European Car of the Year in the early 70s. But this uses a General Motors gearbox, I think the same as, I used to have a 1960 Cadillac, had a 4-speed auto, high dramatic. I think it's the same gearbox as that. Actually feels similar. But just, you can see the beautiful interior, the toggle switches. It's lovely. Back there, it's got the picnic tables and all that kind of stuff. So luckily I've bought the book on the car. That wasn't cheap in itself. It's like a bound little book. I'll fly a photo in of that, what it looks like. But the operator's handbook, if you like, to just so you're familiar with all the nuances of the car. There's a lot of these weird sort of switches and things. I think this is the heating system. This is the I think the air conditioner, upper and lower, or cooling and heating. This car has factory air conditioning in the boot, like a huge air conditioning unit, probably made by Chrysler or someone like that, or GM. I love all these metal vents. That's really cool. You know, plenty of cigarette lighters here. You've got your pull-outs for your vents on both sides for passenger and driver. This is the wipers. This is the panel. There's a few lights here, warning lights. Quite a nice little jeweled sort of lenses on those for fuel. Must be low fuel and also coolant warning as well. Got a fuel gauge which works. Coolant, that also works. The oil gauge doesn't work. That needs to be fixed. The amps works, which is good. Got a little trip meter here, which is quite cool. I haven't reset it, but I should reset it. And got your ashtray. All the fittings are very beautifully done, you know. These I'm not quite sure about. I want to look up what that is. Here's the fuel filler release for the door. I had to ask mechanic where that was because I'm not familiar with these cars. There's vents down the bottom as well. It's got the turbo hydromatic 4-speed automatic transmission from General Motors, and this Blaupunkt stereo system. I assume this is a power antenna here. I haven't checked to see whether it works or not, but the car's in lovely condition in terms of the interior. I need to give it some hide food and clean up the seats and so on, but the leather is in very nice condition. Some of the kick panels are a little bit average. I might even look at replacing those or at least fixing them up. But all the headlining is beautiful. Got these nice quality lights here. These visors are a little bit split with age. I don't know if I'll bother replacing those, but I think they're good enough. You got mirrors in the back there with the lights, and cigarette lighters everywhere. Obviously big smokers back in the day. I think it's about a 1967 model car. If you look at the back of the car, it's got these removable footrests, which is pretty cool. As I said before, lovely interior. They're the vents for the rear air conditioning unit. You've got these beautiful wood panelled mirrors and lights and everything. It's it's very elaborate the way it's been done, no doubt about it. You've got the these tables, picnic tables, which is pretty cool. And then there's if I can get this open, maybe not. Oh yes, just press the little button for your cigarettes, and here's the cigarette lighter in the back and your power window switches. All this material here, all this hardware for the doors and things, and even the buttons here, it's all beautifully done, really nice quality. That's where all the money is, I guess. You open the trunk. Here's the air conditioning unit. See there, it's huge. It's all nicely lined, and even the inside of the boot is carpeted, and pretty cool actually. It's quite a big boot, quite a roomy boot, although that air conditioning unit takes up a lot of space. So back in the Bentley, and just going to put into storage so I can start just cleaning it up and doing a few little bits and pieces. I've already investigated about a side view mirror for it because they don't have mirrors. They have a rear view mirror, but they don't have a side view mirror. I'm thinking you've got to have a side view mirror. Can't be just turning the neck every 5 seconds. I'm getting more used to the car, and yeah, it's really cool. I like it. Might get Brian to put an exhaust on it for me. Give it a little bit of a note. What do you think? Should I get a nice exhaust note so you can hear the V8? In terms of production numbers, it's just over 1,700 actually, not 1,600, but very low numbers when you consider it was built for about 15 years. Like any new car or new old car, it has its idiosyncrasies and you've got to get used to it. And yeah, I've only driven it, this is the second time I've driven the car. I'm already getting used to the way it drives, and yeah, it's really cool actually. I really like it. And I'm looking forward to just reading through the owner's handbook, which I alluded to earlier, just to be across all the nuances of the car. The view over the bonnet's pretty cool. I love the winged bee. Had a look at some of the spare parts for these things online. They're pretty expensive. Nothing's cheap in the Bentley. Same before, I love the picnic tables, you know, folding those down, and just such a lovely, you know, the appointments in the car are just beautiful. In terms of comparison to my 1960 Cadillac I had before, it's a lovely car to drive, but I think the Cadillac was every bit as nice to drive, probably a little smoother and a bit softer. The steering maybe is slightly better. I think brakes are similar. I mean, this has got, I think, 4-wheel disc brakes. The Cadillac would have had 4-wheel drums, but it actually was fine to drive. I guess more resistant to fade in terms of disc brakes to drum, but obviously didn't have all the wood grain and all the level of appointments, wasn't as elaborate. But having said that, it still had a very lovely interior, and it was very luxurious. So yeah, I think the Cadillac gave a good account of itself in comparison to something like this Bentley. Obviously more mass produced, but you know, very, very cool. I thought the car deserves a wash, so going through a hands-free, touchless car wash at the moment. See what sort of job it does. My friend David swears by them, reckons they're really good. Obviously I'm not going to drive this car through anywhere with its brushes or anything like that, but it's all high pressure. Oh yeah, a couple of water leaks, as you'd expect in a car this old, but hopefully it'll be a good test for it actually. It's probably like the factory test they did back in Crewe or wherever they built these cars. Oh yeah, it leaks, definitely leaks. I'll give it a dry off when I get back. Yeah, through the little mini vent. It's probably not closed properly though. Oh yeah, more soap. Jeez. I can hear water. Hopefully it's not coming in the car. That's the brake fluid container there. Pretty elaborate. Got to keep the reservoir between these levels here in the eyeglasses. Well, that's not really at an angle that you can see that clearly, but maybe when it was brand new it was maybe different, but these days you probably have to take a photo of it and then check it. Definitely want to get some hide food on these seats. Yeah, they're in really nice condition. I just want to, but you can feel they're kind of, they're not hard, but they've just feel a little bit, tiny bit dry. So I just think some hide food would be well worth applying. So you've got the picnic tables in the back here, which are really nice. And you can sit in the back here in absolute luxury. Enjoy the beautiful ambiance that is the Bentley T1. Very cool. So I gave the Bentley a good wash, and it did leak a little bit, as you'd expect from a car that's from 1967 or so. But I noticed that the drain holes in the doors were all clogged up, so I've unplugged those and the water's come out. You can see there's quite a bit of water came out of the doors. Could hear it sloshing around when I was opening and closing the doors. So yeah, it'd be good to take those trims off and like really clean those out properly. And I'll find out where it's leaking. I think it's leaking in the dash near the windscreen, or maybe in the vent here. Maybe the cowl or something like that may have some rust in it, but I'm not sure. One of the vents might have been open. Who knows? I'm sure some Bentley aficionados know more about these cars and what goes wrong with them and that sort of thing. But anyway, I'm glad I've got it back, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. So please give the old Bentley a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Tell all your friends, particularly those called Fortescue and Broderick, and tally-ho pipsqueak. And so thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.